Hey folks, this is Kalani. Welcome back to the Blackrock Foundry raid guide for normal and heroic. This time we'll be looking at Oregorger. This fight consists of two phases. He'll transition to phase 2 whenever his mana reaches 0, and go back to phase 1 when he fills up his mana to 100. If he attempts to go to phase 2 for a third time, he'll enrage, doing raid-wide damage, and you'll wipe if you're not very close to killing him. The easiest way to get a smooth run on this encounter is to have your phase 1s last as long as possible and your phase 2 as short as possible. To start with, we're going to take a long stretch of the map, either on the inside or the outside. We preferred using the inside, so you need two things. One place for your tanks and melee, and one for your ranged. Your ranged need to be as far back as they can be, because they've got a little bit of movement to do dealing with puddles. Now that's his first ability. Wretched Blackrock. He'll essentially throw a pool of nasty things over to the ranged group. Now you want to make the most out of the space you have, so you want to step to the side for the first one, and then step forward for the second. Step to the side for the third, and keep laddering up the area. And by the time you get to phase 2, you should have 6 to 7 puddles. His next ability to watch out for is Acid Torrent. This is going to throw a ball of acid at a ranged member and then deal a smaller amount of damage to everybody behind it. What you want to do is have your off-tank, or whoever's not tanking the boss, take that first hit. So they need to be between the melee and the ranged, and they need to have some form of cooldown up, because the less damage they take, the less damage everyone else takes. So either a tank cooldown or an external cooldown such as Blessing of Sacrifice or Pain Suppression, they work beautifully. The first hit of Acid Torrent also applies a debuff to the target, so your tanks need to swap, otherwise they're going to kill themselves and everybody behind them. Next up is Explosive Shard. Oregorger is going to throw a shard at the melee group, which will deal a small amount of damage and knock them back. But it's going to stay there for 3 seconds, and after those 3 seconds it will explode, dealing a large amount of damage and stunning anybody inside. So they just need to avoid that. The last ability in phase 1 is Blackrock Barrage. He'll cast it 3 times in quick succession, and it'll deal a large amount of damage to everyone in your raid. But it is interruptible, and interrupting it is key to extending your phase 1s. Every ability that I've listed so far costs Oregorger 5 mana to cast. That means if you don't interrupt Blackrock Barrage, that's 15 mana which could be used on other abilities, thereby extending phase 1, giving you more time to deal a lot of damage to him, meaning you need less damage in the further phases. It's really key to a smooth run that you interrupt these Blackrock Barrages, and I'm sure as hell your healers are going to thank you for it. Okay, so all the Acid Torrents have been handled perfectly, all the Blackrock Barrages have been interrupted. He's down at 0 mana. Time for the fun part. He's going to transition into phase 2 and knock off a load of crates of ore. Then he'll start rolling around, and before you start to panic screaming it's all random, I guarantee you it's not. You can plan ahead of where you should be. He's only ever going to take 2 routes and can never go back on himself. He'll always take the route which leads to ore. So if you have ore in 2 paths, yes, it's going to be random, but there's only 2 paths he can take. Stay out of them. The rest of the room is perfectly fine. The way we handled this, the way which we had most success with, was to split our raid into 2 groups. Split your healers evenly, and then have your melee in one and ranged in another, especially your confident ranged. Your confident ranged can stay around the outside, knocking out the ones which are in risk areas, and then your melee just barrel through all the ones in the middle. Once you've got enough ore exposed, that's all you need to do. After that, you just need to stay alive. He's always going to go for the exposed ore, so as soon as you got that done, just group up, stay alive, and watch where he's going. Get ready to get back in your positions in phase 1, and then rinse repeat. It really isn't as hard as it seems on the surface. If you panic, you're probably gonna die, so just stay calm, and if you're not confident, make sure you survive. Do nothing else but look at that boss, stare at that boss. Where is he going to go? Being alive for the damage in an additional phase 1 is far more important than getting that last hit on a box, which ends up getting you killed. And that should be everything you need to take down Oregorger on normal and heroic. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to you. Feel free to check out any of the other guides in Blackrock Foundry normal and heroic. We'll have all of those updated as soon as they're available. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.